Comments and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, morrismedialive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
You know this. You know, I think this is the groove that I like to make you move. Sometimes with all this coronavirus stuff, you know, I wanted people to say, get the funk out my face, get the funk out my face. Let's get the funk out the face.
Oh, God damn. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Al Toomer's Toomer Town. I'm your host, Al Toomer. And tonight we're going to have a fabulous time like we always do, but, you know, I have a comrade musician friend of mine down here tonight, and we're going to discuss a few things, the business and today's just the way the world is today, you know. So I'm honored to have him up here. That was the beautiful music that you was hearing when we was opening up this show. It was the first time we've ever done it like that, and because this dude's a bad dude. He's been in the game like 30, 40 years or more, and did soundtracks for Ghostbusters, played with the best of them, Ray Parker, Prince, Michael Jackson, fucking Bobby Womack. He's played with them all. He's been in the game for a minute, and he's been like an older brother to me. So before I even introduce him, I got to give the boss of this place back there her props and see how she's doing, Miss Poetess Felicia Morris, who's also a musician in her own right. You know, we have to touch in with her because we never know what her temperature is.
Hey, Al.
Hey, Felicia. That's the best you can do for me. You've done better than that. You normally just do backflips and stand up on your hand. That's the best you can do today. I ain't did nothing to you.
Goodbye, Al. Do your show.
I haven't done anything to you. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I don't like women and cats. They just alike. That's why I don't like cats. But you have to deal with them. That type of shit. Just for no reason. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying today, what is the day? September the 10th? 9th, 10th? Something like that. I think it's I don't know what it is, but we're in September.
September the 10th.
Yeah, one of those days. Huh? Yeah, it is. Tomorrow is 9/11. Damn. And that was fucking, 20 years ago, 9/11. I wonder if it would, did it happen on Friday? That happened on a Monday. I remember that. When 9/11, when the real 9/11 happened, that was on a Monday because I was supposed to be flying my ass back out of Seattle back to Los Angeles from Sunday, being up with Gary Payton doing his weekend thing up there. And I got stuck in Seattle for over a week up there behind this shit.
Wow.
Planes got crashed and all this building, all this shit, and it just got crashed and fucked up everything, ladies and gentlemen. So she brought up 911. It's, you know, it's hate when people just, I wasn't going there. I was talking about something else. But when you smoked weed, somebody else can easily just take the steering wheel and drive you where the fuck they want you to go.
That might be a good story, yeah.
The 911 story?
How we related to what's going on today. Because at 911, it changed a lot of stuff. And what we're doing today with the coronavirus changed everything else, too.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did.
So those are changes, you know. In
yeah.
life.
It is. So I guess I can mark this shit down. And since you didn't put your ass up in the camera, I might as well go and introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, this man here is a very, you know, dear friend of mine. He's almost, I mean, like, been knowing him 22 years, but he's almost like my, I want to say brother, but we obviously half brothers, because when you see me and him, you realize we might have had the same mama but different dads, or we might have had the same dad but different mamas. So he's always been like that older half a brother, and helped me a lot in the show business game when I first got up out here, and he's still helping me today. He's a musician, like I say, who's worked with some of the best, traveling all around the world. And he's known as the funky sax man.
That's
this
right.
motherfucker play all the goddamn instruments and write songs and does a whole lot. So, you know, I'm glad to have my big brother up here. And, man, thanks for finally coming down here, Chaz, the funky sax man.
Yes. Good to be here, Al. You got to tell them my name properly. Chazzy Green, the funky sax man. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to say it like that.
Okay, well,
Chazzy Green, the funky sax man.
Well, that's the way you gonna have to do it. I mean, I'm not your Michael Buffer, nigga. I'm your little brother. I'm never gonna refer to you like that.
Right? But anyway, I'm glad to be on the show, and it's good to see you doing something well and keeping people informed and talking and just basically speaking your mind, because it's really important, because a lot of people, you know, really don't have people that they can talk to openly and not being judged or things like that, so they can speak freely.
Right.
That's what we need more in this country, to speak freely, how you really feel, what's really going on with you.
Yeah.
You know?
That's really why I decided to do this, man. And it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I was way behind on this shit, man. Motherfuckers been doing this shit fucking 10, 15 years. Dude, I was like, fuck technology, fuck all this shit, fuck social media, fuck all y'all. So I'm way behind on it. And some of my peers and comrades are way ahead of me. Got way more goddamn subscribers. I ain't even trying to get no subscribers, no viewers. Right. This is practice to me, and I'm really just getting the hang of this bullshit. So you can tell, I come up here and talk and do all type of shit, but it's not conventional at all. But until you really master what this shit is, because it is an art to mastering doing this shit. It's way much more different than just going up on a stage or in front of a damn camera, like for a movie or a sitcom and shit. This shit here it's really different.
But it's about still being yourself and being honest with yourself, saying what you really, truly feeling, and just put it out like that. And then you still got to look at it like somebody's still out there in front of you, because somebody's watching.
They are. These
right
cameras
now.
Here, and they actually the perfect people that really want to see you.
That's right. So, you got to
So I got to build myself up for the 43 motherfuckers who want to see me every week, but everybody has to start somewhere.
That's it. But the main point is to start, because some people never get started.
Yeah, so you have to say, you have to plant that seed and keep growing with it.
That's all right. It's going good. You're doing fine.
Yeah, but bruh, it's good to have you up here, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
shit, dude, shit. Hey, this COVID-19 thing and goddamn pretty much goddamn put a fucking burr up on the boat. It's just pretty. Did you ever think your goddamn shit would be cut short where we couldn't work?
Right. Or
artists, entertainers, just told you can't do nothing.
No, they considered us non-essential people.
That's what it is, non-essential workers.
Right. But, it brought us back together because, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what happened. I decided to go to the liquor store. I was getting everything right. And then he didn't see me right because we all wearing masks, and he hadn't seen me in years and years. And so he went to the line. I told him he couldn't get in this line. You have to go over there. He was like, what? I said, go on over there. Like, and he was looking like, who the hell you think you is talking to me? Like, this only can be, is that Chaz?
Yeah, bro, you about to get knocked out because I thought you was a white man talking to me like that on 48th.
Right.
In Crenshaw, a white man gonna tell me where to go. Shit, you about to get fucked up and I ain't got to touch you. The motherfuckers behind this counter will kill you for fucking with Toomer.
But that was funny. But it brought us back together. But
because we go way back, bro. It's been like 22 years, man. I didn't see you had to be, damn near 10 years.
No, it's been about 15 years.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And then I remember my band, we were really kicking in L.A., Chazzy Green and the Greenbacks. We were playing all over, everywhere. Yeah. One time we were featured band at B.B. King's place up at Universal City. Right. And we played there all the time. So I had Al come up there and do some things sometimes. And we could do some things. It was a lot of fun. But back to this coronavirus stuff, what it has done for us musicians, shit, we're just sitting at home, just doing nothing. Yeah. But if you're smart, you can look at it in a positive way
Right.
and reinvent yourself.
Right.
Because ain't nothing going to be the same from now.
No, I always say
period.
I don't think we'll ever
So-
go out there. I marked it as March 12th when they really shut this shit down.
Right. They shut
It'll
all my
never
gigs.
go back to that.
I was supposed to be in Japan at the beginning of April,
how many
and then
gigs I
going
done
to
missed out on?
Holland and everything else.
Yeah.
So it was like, man, it just wiped me out for a minute.
It
But
made me goddamn have a different respect for Donald Trump's mantra of "Make America Great Again." See, because the niggas all they want to see was he talking about going back to slavery and all that. Maybe that's what it meant to him.
Well,
But
yeah.
what does "Make America Great" make America Great Again mean to you? I'm telling you, just 6 months ago, this shit was much greater than it is now. If I could just go back to March, I mean, it was the day I did my last show. If I could just go back to then, America would be great. But it's totally fucked up now,
telling you.
and I see it getting worse.
well, we need to get back in that time zone because, man, it was much better than it is now.
Yeah.
And then he brought all the races out of the woodwork.
He didn't bring them nowhere. They've been there.
Yeah, but
tired
they
of people
coming
trying
out.
to blame that man for that shit, man. You ought to be glad.
But he gave them a reason to come out.
They've always been there.
But they've never came out like they are now.
Good. Don't you glad that they're showing themselves?
It's a good thing
That's
in
what
a
I'm
sense.
saying, niggas. Do you want them to hide? They're doing this. They were doing the same things in the dark. Now they coming out seeing it, and niggas losing their fucking mind.
Well, it's just kind of like rap too, because we were saying all this stuff in the dark, and if we have by ourselves now, if you're just saying anything right
I'm
now.
glad these motherfuckers exposing they goddamn self, man.
Yeah.
You know, then people want to call Trump a racist. Talking about, who gives a fuck? And who's really upset about, what white person do you really know that you can honestly say ain't racist? You really can't say that about anybody. Because there's a black person to a degree. I'm not racist, but I have my prejudices, my bigotries. But like they say, to be racist, you have to have the power to not like a motherfucker and affect their life. So you, or nobody black for the most part can really be a racist. But we can have our prejudiced views. I do have those.
Right, and that's understandable because you got to remember, in America, it's a thing called implicit bias.
Yeah.
And white folks have been doing these crazy things for such a long time that they don't even know or realize that they've been doing this shit.
Yeah, but if we right here up under them and go into their schools, we've learned the same type of dastardly deeds.
That's true.
The same type of low-down shit.
Yeah, but still, they're not looking at us the same way. What I want to say about that is they're looking at us like we can't be at the same level that they are.
Yeah.
Because they've used all getting their homes and everything for financial gain. They won't let us get homes and stuff so that we can use for our to better ourselves or get other loans and equity in our homes. It's just crazy stuff. All those small little things, because all white people ain't bad. It's just a few who've been trained and they just keep perpetrating.
More than a few, bro.
I'm just saying.
More than a few. So, with that, I guess I would say that is, there are some people who would say, I've heard Dick Gregory talk about this, and some other scholarly black people that say that the worst trick that was ever played was played on broke white people. They say Lyndon Johnson said that whether you got money or not, when it comes to a white man, if you can trick him into believing that his white skin is better than anybody else's, no matter what he has, he'll reach in his pocket and give you everything that he has. You can fall back on your skin color and always have, I ain't got nothing in my pocket, but at least I'm better than that motherfucker. That's a fucked up way to goddamn fuck somebody's head up, man.
Yeah.
And to a degree, I believe us as African-American niggas, we afflicted with that shit too.
Well, it's just been so many other games that have been played on as mental things, like from slavery days, from people being in the outhouse or the yard Negroes and the house Negroes. So we got a lot of house Negroes, and then I wondered if they made a bet with some women, because you got to remember some of our founding fathers, had slaves. And they had all these black women and screwing them
they
too.
Did. And you know what the biggest goddamn misnomer is that they would say they would assume like you was a house nigga because you light skin, and me a dark skin, I'd be field nigga. Blood was totally the reverse. The real house nigga was just like Sam Jackson in the Django. A black motherfucker.
Right.
Jet black motherfucker, a fat black bitch. They didn't want to see no high yellow. The white women knew that their husbands was out in the field fucking these goddamn women.
Right.
For the most part, they really didn't want to see no high yellow motherfuckers. That's to them. That's an image that you know.
Right. They did messed up.
So Sam Jackson was the epitome of a house nigga, ladies and gentlemen. When you look at all this shit that Davy Ray's, Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima, all this shit was big black niggas. But you ain't seen no high yellow goddamn nigga on no racial box of food or nothing. Always some dark shit niggas. So those what they would say was a real house nigga, but I wouldn't claim being a house nigga today at all.
But the funny thing about it is, like, we raise their children. We're smart enough to raise their children and to give them direction, but they don't think we're smart enough to do anything else.
Well, hey, man.
Anyway, that's another story for another time.
Before I go to that, we get all this other good shit we got to. They have a reason to feel the way they are. They do, bro.
Yeah.
I guess we have to be a little bit more understanding of their plight, but, we realize you are really this vulnerable and ain't but so many of us. Not only is nature against us, the number of other people are against us.
But the main thing that we all have to realize, we are all spiritual entities having a spiritual experience in a human body.
Yes, we are.
So ain't nobody better than nobody because we're all the same. And whatever you know, I can know. Whatever you learn, I can learn.
Well, I understand that. But I think, to add to the addendum and a footnote to what you're saying about that is everybody also needs to understand that because you are having a spiritual, experience, a human being having a spiritual experience, you got to take into account all your motherfucking emotions. You can't try to root out one or the other, and normally there's a balance. If you can live in a balance of moderation, you can strive to be all good, but understand there's another side of that. There's a bad side of that. Everybody has two demons, like you see the little movies, and they got the angel on this one side and the devil on this side. Yeah. Everybody has that shit in them. Everybody has a dual-ass personality. One is good, one is bad.
Well, like I said,
God and Satan revealed in your body, and you have to control both of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, but once you become more spiritual, you understand that emotion is an emotion, and you got to really control your emotions because your emotions can really knock you out the box.
Yeah, and that's where I guess having a man around most black houses. Because from the most part, the emotional shit was going on a lot of our black boys now, man, is they raised by a bunch of women, and women are emotional.
Right. And so that makes them more confrontational because they're not thinking with their real true feelings. They're going by emotionals.
Yeah. You have to think about common sense, dude. I've never gone off on a goddamn cop in my life, no matter what number.
But you don't have to.
No, I mean, I've seen motherfuckers do it, but I've always have the respect to know that this motherfucker can kill me and get away with it.
Exactly.
Some of them get out talking shit. They're like, man, you just pulling me over because I'm black. Why are you fucking with me?
Right. And
I'm not ever going on like that. How you doing this officer?
Because that officer might have been the one who had that bad day and just go off on you.
He ain't got to be having a bad day, but to see an angry nigga, that's on the list. Kill all angry niggas. So they'll never see me angry. Yes, sir. How you doing? Hi. Yeah, I'm always polite, and they've let me off, dude, for the most part. I have gotten off with a whole lot of shit with the police, dude, just being polite.
Yes.
Nice, respectful, talking to them, having conversations with them.
I think that goes over in almost everything that you do, being respectful and polite.
Yeah.
That'll help you in everything that you do. Remember that, whoever's listening to me, because like my mother always taught me that you can get more things with honey than you can with vinegar.
Exactly.
So it's always best and use your mind and be wise rather than otherwise.
Exactly. So I'm telling you, honey, I've said this on this show before. Young men, especially black men, when them people pull your ass over, do and be as kind as you can. It's you really control the situation.
That's
right. If you're kind and respectful with them, they gonna be kind and respectful with you. Now, ain't some assholes out there, but you got the goddamn blessings of God over you. You can't even look at it like that. But if you come at them motherfuckers in a confrontational way, we gonna keep having fucking parades and protests for ignorant motherfuckers who got mad at these motherfuckers and they shot your ass because they were afraid of you.
Right.
That's just the bottom line.
Or I'm
scared of goddamn niggas, some of them. But, you know, I mean, I'm afraid of the cop. That's why I get a cop respect, because I'm afraid of you. So if you're afraid of some goddamn body, you give them goddamn motherfuckers the respect on their goddamn job.
But we
Move
need
on
more
about
cops.
your goddamn business, and if they really that disrespectful, you can set them up where you see them at another time on your motherfucking terms.
But we need more cops that are respectful to all people. That's
I
very
would
important
agree
too.
with that.
Because it's just like, man, being a cop, that's the profession that you don't need people that are ready to kill somebody and hurt somebody. That's just like get ready to go on an airplane flight, and the pilot said, "Fuck it, I ain't landing today." We don't need no bad pilots.
Yeah,
we need good cops and actually more training. Because check this out.
People keep saying there's more training.
Yeah,
but I think the vetting process. Yeah,
but that's part of training.
Training, but it's like, man, maybe a motherfucker needs a goddamn fucking higher fucking degree to be a goddamn police officer, as opposed to being able to be a ninth grade dropout and become one. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. You need more education.
True.
You know, fuck reform. I mean, reform what?
Right. Because
it's motherfucker. It's certain jobs you can't get unless you got a college degree. A police officer ain't one of them. Any failed reject can get that job and take his frustrations out on motherfuckers.
And that's what's been happening for so long.
So that's where it starts. That there reform, how you hire these motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying. The same thing. Like I would go to places like Japan, and I've seen a guy with a sword, and the police are around it. They don't shoot him. They talk to him. They have the sense and the training to just wait. And if he makes a move to him, they just step back and still talk to him.
I've seen that shit. I played a video up here about a year ago where a black cop did that to a motherfucker. This motherfucker came in with a fucking machete about this long. And he walked straight up to him. He didn't take no stick. He didn't act scared, just walked straight up to him. He knew this motherfucker could only swing one way. And when he swung, he just took his ass down and locked him up. First off, if you a cop, you ought to know if there are people out there taking judo lessons and jiu-jitsu and all. You motherfuckers ought to know how to fight. You shouldn't need no goddamn weapon unless somebody has one on you. Right. So any bitch-ass cop that's shooting a motherfucker ain't got no gun ought to be executed.
Right, especially
you ought to be better than bad. You got mace, you got a baton, you got dogs at you got tasers, and you got to lethally kill somebody. Right.
Shoot him in the back from 30 feet or 20. Come on.
Yeah, man. You can't. You that big of a bitch. You ain't got no business being no cop.
I agree with that. That's what we need: reform and training. We need better policemen.
Vetting is the word, the hiring process. If your ass you can't even think about being a cop unless your ass got a degree from a higher goddamn institution. But that's gonna fuck it up, because how many people if you were that smart, you wouldn't even want to be a cop. So pretty much it's like being a garbage man to be a motherfucking police.
You know?
Yeah, or in the military or that type of shit. You know, that shit Trump said lately done pissed people off, dude.
What did Trump say lately?
That motherfucker said then that any military, to the effect that any person in the military who got killed or got captured or whatever is a sucker.
Oh, that's terrible. I remember he made a reference to John McClane about that.
Yeah, he said McCain wasn't no hero to him because he got captured.
Yeah, but you got to remember
Trump, he never went nowhere to fight.
No, he dodged war.
Yeah, he did.
But he can talk about somebody.
Obama, them Bush boys, all them motherfuckers. There hasn't been a real president that fought a war, I don't believe. It goes, McCain didn't win, but it goes way back. Before you could be the president, bro, you had to have fought in a war and shot at somebody and been shot at.
Right.
These motherfuckers, they just go to law school and become the fucking president.
Or be as popular as they think they can and be the president and have no clue on how military things really work.
Yeah. And you sending somebody's kids off to die and kill somebody, and your ass ain't never did it. You should not be allowed to be a motherfucking president if you have never fought in a goddamn war. That should be the deciding factor right there. All the president is the goddamn chief. He's the commander-in-chief. You are the head motherfucker over all the military. So if you a motherfucker ain't never been in no combat, you ain't got no business being the president.
And if you are the president, you better understand that and learn all the responsibilities of being in that position.
Exactly. Exactly, man. Yeah, so, this is where we're at now, man. But shit, we need to regroup now because we done got way off. Because I knew this was going to happen with you coming up here. And whatever I had on this page, I knew I was going to go a different goddamn way. So what we going to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, go to a quick break. Because you know what, John rarely don't do breaks up here. But I got my man up here, and I want him to do something. What, you going to play both of them motherfuckers or what?
Well, maybe she can play one of my songs.
Okay.
I'll let her pick it. They're
Yeah.
all good. These are some of my new songs coming out.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you do that.
She's going to play
We're going to take
Let's
this
Go
goddamn
Home.
quick break. And shit, when I get back, we're going to get on some of our subjects. Sexy motherfucking
Man,
song
it's
called?
called "Let's Go Home."
Let's
Man.
Go Home.
You know, like I said, during these times, I've been able to reinvent myself, and I got the best musicians in town playing with me. That's why it's so smooth and so good, and I let everybody put their own creative feeling on there. And when you let people just do what they do, it comes out to be a masterpiece.
So you ain't missing nobody but me. You need my voice to come back and lead this shit like Eddie Kane, right?
That's right. You know, speaking of people that I have on there, we have Ray Parker Jr. playing guitar, and he always puts his wow. Les King, who put the phenomenal bass line on it. Eddie Miller, who plays with Brian Culverson and other people. He's just a phenomenal keyboard player and great person to write with. We wrote these songs together.
Yeah.
And it just came out so good. All the songs are great. And I've learned that we have to put a warning label on these songs.
Why? What's vocal about it?
Nobody says vulgar, but it's a warning because if you listen to these music and a man and woman are in the same room, something might get started and they might get some babies later
just
on.
About to ask you, but before I go back and ask you this goddamn question, it's like all y'all need now is the voices come back, right? For me to stand up there and sing in front of
No,
this
the sax is singing, man. The sax
no,
is
motherfucker, you
singing.
know how we used to do it, chat. I sung over this shit. I'm getting back to that, because I know how it is as being a comedian, bro. You know, a musician is one thing, but if you could fuck the shit out of a goddamn woman and have her cracking up laughing, then that's one thing.
Well, you can't do it with music, too.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
said,
what
I
I'm saying?
expect you to be able to do it with music.
Sometimes-
So what it's like to be able to write your own goddamn music and just blow a bit socks off with it.
Oh, you can play some. And if you want to ask a question mark, you say. But when you really want to get sexy.
This is all pre-recorded. Certainly you're not laying in the bed but naked with the bitch blowing the socks.
Well, you know, I don't want to tell all my secrets because, you know, being a saxophone player, we do that triple tongue technique and we have to make sure we do things like that. Let me stop doing that. Because,
fast stroke of you
that's a
licking
triple
bitch's
tongue.
clitoris. You know.
Oh, if you do that, boy, they'll go nuts.
Basically, you don't have to pull your dick out.
Oh, yeah, you do. You better. You know, I'm just happy. Like I said, we're doing this reinventing ourselves.
Yeah.
And let me speak about that real quick because I've got this secret weapon over here that is a monster.
Yeah,
nobody's
you told
playing.
me about that. It looks some
looks
shit
like
from
it's-
Star Wars.
Yes, it does. That's where I'm ready to go with it. It's called an aerophone. Man, it's got some great sounds, but you got to know how to play it. And the thing is, I can be anything I want with this thing.
Yeah.
But what I like is I can be like a Miles Davis.
Oh, man.
You know, things like that. But, you know, sometimes if I get, you know, I'm Jewish by proxy, so sometimes.
Jewish?
Yeah, man. I play in all the Jewish temples and around L.A., and so sometimes you have to play some nice violin.
There's Italian and everything.
But sometimes
I gotta go get one of them motherfuckers.
sometimes I do my little scatting.
No, you just blowing in that motherfucker that's doing that. I'll have one tomorrow.
But, you know, the thing is, you gotta know how to blow these things, man.
Oh,
And
shit,
I'm just happy, man.
blow.
And, you know, because music has always been sensual.
They says, man, it ain't the worst drug, but it's stronger than any drug.
It's always be sensual, but you have to know.
It goes across all languages.
Yes, it does.
It gets you through all the emotions, be it happy, sad, whatever memory. It's the most powerful drug there is.
But you know, the thing about music is that you will always remember where you were this year, that year, by music.
Yeah.
You'll remember that 911, what kind of music you were listening to or whatever kind of thing
Yeah,
really
I
touches
remember.
you. Music is that important. And even through these times, everybody's still listening to some music.
Yeah.
They ain't cut us off all the way. They call us non-essential, but
Okay.
still everybody's got music in their cars. They got Spotify, Pandora, every
Yeah.
other thing you can do.
Now, that being said, not to mean to cut you off, but you just said how powerful it is. And you know what type of classical shit that you do. You know what they say about the hip-hop type of thing. But, you know, that shit moves people too now. So I guess my question is, do you think that that's more of a destructive thing for the most part when it comes to, you know,
No.
certain rap music and
No.
the sounds and influencing people to do things instead of fucking, you know, just be happy? But there's some music, and I know, motherfuckers, I've done some things off of music that I probably wouldn't have done off of shit. That's when I was younger, but some music can move your ass to do some shit that you normally wouldn't have did.
Yes, it does. But that's what it's good for. But all the rap, the hip-hop, let me tell you what that is. After we look at it from like 50 years from now, we'll see that these young brothers have taken it to another level because music is always supposed to grow and go into different directions. Never has our music stayed the same, even from the beginning. Even from the beginning of classical music. First, they just had block chords. People would play the 1, the 4, and the 5, and then they just didn't write it down, and they knew how to improvise those chords. And then we've taken those same chords, we've taken to jazz, and when we got to jazz, we took it to another way because we were doing putting 5/7s on the chords. When I'm saying these chords, it's like playing some different stuff. That's where the jazz came up with the blues and everything like that. A lot of things started from the blues. And then after we got from the blues, we came to some smoother jazz. We came to the R&B, which everybody was
And
still...
they mentioned that even when that was new, it was, I guess, considered just as risque as the rap.
Exactly. And every generation always will have a music that we will look down and say...
I don't even want to think about 20 or 30 years how bad that music is going to be to make this shit today look as harmonious as what the fuck jazz and all that shit is. That's going to be some pretty horrible shit.
Yeah, I want to see what's going to be so risque about it in 20 years myself because music can be very powerful. But it can always be fun.
We ain't running out of time, but man, let me get through some of these goddamn questions real quick. You Detroit boy, huh?
Yes, I'm from Detroit, born and raised. Had a wonderful time. Detroit, you know, was an awesome city back during the time when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s. Detroit was so musical tolerant. I remember it would be like this. Sometimes you get people knock on your door. Hey, buddy, I didn't hear you practice today. What's going on? You got to practice. Oh, okay. I get to knock another couple of weeks. Hey, buddy, I heard you playing that run like this. Can you play it like shoo-ba-doo-ba-ba-doo-ba? I'm like, okay, all right. But I get another knock on the door. Hey, buddy, your guys practicing because we're going to plan some parties outside. We're going to cook some foods. But, you know, when I came out to L.A., somebody knocked on the door. Hey, can you turn that shit down?
And they only go after you once.
You know, I was very fortunate because I grew up right next to the YMCA. Now, the YMCA in Detroit, it was called the Fisher YMCA. Everybody came there. All the professional athletes came there to work out. All the musicians came there to work out. I learned almost everything I know from being at the Fisher YMCA. I met Marvin Gaye there. Dave Bing, he was a Pistons guard who was awesome that time. Everybody came there. The Temptations would come there. And funny thing about some of the Temptations, they always get new Cadillacs every 3 weeks, it seemed like. And so they offered to take the kids home. But they couldn't take me home because I lived right there. I was so I couldn't drive with them. Well, I said, okay, I'm gonna be on the stage with these guys.
That's cool, man. That's good for a kid to see.
Yeah,
I'm sure you saw all the other shit, the pimps and the drug dealers and all that
but
shit.
But the thing is, we had smart, mature men who were deeply rooted into intelligence.
Yeah.
So they would check a young brother. You know, they would challenge you mentally, and then and see you talk, and then you make yourself look like an idiot, and then they show you why. And then they taught me how to play chess, which is a very a good game for you to be able to think 7 and 8 moves ahead, which is very important. A lot of kids, they're just on their phones, and they, sitting in the same room and will text each other and not having any talk conversation with each other. Just,
no attention span at all. They don't even know how to write today, bro. My writing has always been bad, but I can still print and write and curse. Some of these motherfuckers don't even know how to write. Man.
Right, exactly. They couldn't write a page if they life depended on it. So I'm thankful for growing up in Detroit, where all the great musicians. My high school was fucking great. Everybody in our high school jazz band went to be professional. Ray Parker went with Stevie. Ollie Brown.
Stevie who? Wonder?
Stevie Wonder.
Yo, you didn't go to school with Stevie?
No, but he went out of our high school. That's where they went.
Okay, y'all went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ollie Brown went with Stevie, and then with the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
We had one trumpet player who played. He was on Wild Cherry.
Yeah.
Played that funky music, white boy. But they were the guys in the back, small. That funky music. But we never.
Casey and the Sunshine, man.
No, that was Wild Cherry.
Okay.
A couple of guys were playing with the Dramatics. Another guys went with the guys in town.
That motherfucker was known for music.
Yeah, I was with the Fantastic Four, and then
Where'd you get your start at, though? Where'd you really first get on stage at? And then start traveling around with everybody. Where you made your name, everybody, you got to hear the funky sax, man.
Well, it was everything in life is a process, and it's a part of a journey.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was 10. The music director came in our room and said he wanted the smartest people in our math class, so he picked a couple of us, and I never stopped from there. But, after I got to high school, clarinet was not the instrument to play. All the cool guys were playing the saxophone.
Sagacious playing clarinet, man. I like the sound of the clarinet. Can that thing play the clarinet?
Yes, it can.
It's not really a cool thing for a guy to be playing.
So I said, I'm going over to the sax section. But what happened in my case was the music director was playing with everybody. He played in all the Motown bands and big bands of that era. So I would come down to his rehearsals and things like that. So, man, that was great. These old guys, man, they were doing everything. So I got in the band, and our band came out to be one of the best bands in town.
Yeah.
We went up against Goliath. They were called Energy. Anyway, my band was not supposed to win, but we turned them out. At that point, I started playing with everybody. People were calling me out to do things and stuff like that. So I had a great history. And as soon as I got out to L.A., I got with Ray Parker, played on all of his hits. And then that started a thing I played with Switch, War, Johnny Guitar Watson. I played with him until he died in Japan. He loved me, and Bobby Womack, too. He was another great player.
Yeah, Womack is another one I remember you telling me about.
I played all of Macy Gray's biggest hits, the brand new heavies, DJ Quick. So it's been a nice role and journey for me. But now it's time for me to pass it on. Now,
tell about before you go there. Tell about some of the soundtrack you did, huh?
I did so many
Ghostbusters and all
Ghostbusters. Back then, we were doing a lot of TV stuff. So I did the theme song for Richard Pryor when he had a television series on. Then, of course, I did the Ghostbusters cartoon, Dennis the Menace the cartoon. So that was me doing all those soundtracks for Hein over at Saban Productions. And we did so many cartoons over there, man. It was almost every week doing something. But it was just a different era at that time. And we were talking about earlier being a dad. I don't have any kids or anything like that, but I have a lot of students. And sometimes, it's interesting when you're great to kids, which I always try to be, and teach them like you talking to a real man.
Yeah.
But just in the way that they can understand, and they will be true men. One time about a week ago, this let me know that I've done the right thing. I was at getting my oil change at the Jiffy Lube.
Yeah.
And so this one kid came up to me and said, "Hey, are you Mr. Green?" Yeah.
Mr. Green.
You were my teacher, my jazz teacher.
Yeah.
And so I'm just happy to see kids growing up because in his case, I was teaching over in Inglewood at junior middle school, at Warren Lane Middle School, and they put all the worst students in the class.
Yeah.
They wanted my program to fail, but they didn't know that I was a good teacher.
Right.
So at one point, they was all trying to be bad. So I said, we're not going to do any music today. We're just going to talk. So I sat and talked to all the guys and listened to them.
Right.
Mostly listened. And then some of the guys cried because they said no teacher ever really listened to them.
Yeah.
And then these kids turned out to be the best students ever. And we won the championship in Inglewood that year.
Man, that's cool as a motherfucker. So you
Yeah,
did it on more of an organized level. I did it more on dealing with women who had children, So that's I don't have any. Supposed to have 9 kids, ladies and gentlemen. Due to 6 miscarriages and 3 abortions, I don't have any.
Probably
and
so
there's
with
only
me.
one of them that I really regret.
Uh-huh.
Because God really did me a favor as I look back on some of the heifers that I was supposed to have these kids from. I truly despise, and they despise me. So who wants to bring a kid up through that type of bullshit?
Not at all.
But I normally raise them like, I feel like there should be a day for me, Motherfuckers Day. Guys who fuck mothers, guys, women who have kids, and the goddamn dad ain't there. I've raised a lot of kids like that. Go through school. Some of them played in the NBA and the NFL. I won't mention their names because I don't want to expose their mothers. But I've always been a guy to go over to Crenshaw High and look to the basketball games and football game, looking to find, the next LeBron James mother and help his mother out while he's a young kid and that type of shit. Right. So I contributed that way.
But that's a good thing, and for any young father or just a father who's going through things with a woman, still be a good man, not only to your kids, to other kids.
Yeah,
because
if they
we need it all.
Yeah,
we need it all.
A kid is a kid, man.
Right.
I understand, I ain't, like I say, when I'm dealing with women with kids, they got to be in their formative years. I ain't dealing with no goddamn bitches got fucking 16 and 17-year-old goons around. Daughters that I want to fuck. No, I'm talking, you got to be in the formative years, 45, 60 years old, where I got, some type of impact on your mind and your life. But you be the woman that goddamn got adult kids. So
wait a minute, back up. If the kid is 18 or 17, what, you gonna be looking at them funny? What?
They might be looking at me funny. Get the fuck away from my mama, nigga. I need a place to stay. Oh,
okay.
I need to be with some women can't get rid of their goddamn kids. So that kid is gonna be more protective of his mama because if he spends more time with this dude, then motherfucker that's putting me almost like the baby boy syndrome.
And funny story is that women are funny sometimes. We got to say that because we all are funny. But I've been in a situation like that where I was with a woman and her daughter is like about 18 or so, and you're in the house, and then they get comfortable with you, right? And then they'll walk around with stuff, and you be looking at, did she do that?
Yeah, right.
And walking around with stuff, nipples pointing out like ding.
I'm like,
is she trying to throw me something? But I had to correct them on that. Come on. I'm still man.
And so you just go tell the mom.
And let them do that.
Then or just get away from it because the goddamn woman can turn that shit against you too. And say, well, my daughter ain't did nothing like that.
Right.
If you get pissed off, so no, that's.
And why are you looking at her like that anyway?
Exactly. She's been walking around there like that before she came here. Before you came here. So, I stay away from that shit. I want with a woman, like I said, she got like toddlers and the kid ain't been abused by some other motherfuckers. Thought I could deal with that, but after a certain age, I ain't even fucking with you.
But sometimes in America, our society puts so much oppression on our young sisters, and so that alters their thinking about a lot of things, so they become jaded at a younger age and more rebellious, and then not seeking the truth because nobody's talking about truth.
Right.
I've looked around and I've seen even churches not really teaching, and so where are our kids going to get guidance? They look on the television and seeing everybody or TikTok and everybody's doing booty dances and this and that and thinking that's the way you get views and hits and more respect. That ain't the way.
It ain't. But I say it all has to begin, man, before a child is even formed, before it is even skeeted out of your penis into a woman's vagina. These things have to be taken more seriously before you even bring a child here.
Into the world.
We're talking about what a kid needs to be when it gets here, but if it's brought here through frivolousness, then 9 times out of 10 it's going to have a frivolous existence. I mean, you can't just get with nobody and lust behind no goddamn fucking weak female. God damn, bitch, look at them titties, look at them ass.
Right, and then not have anything.
And he look at a motherfucker, what can you do for me? Oh, you got a nice girl, you got some money. All right, come on, you can bust in that. And here comes another life. I mean, another life cannot just be brought here that carelessly.
Right.
And that's where the problem lies. Because you end up after this lustful night and you probably was both under some type of alcohol or narcotics. And you bring a child up under that and then realize y'all can't stand each other.
Yeah, but the thing is, at that point, they got to be able to realize that, hey, we have a responsibility. But some people don't understand.
Nobody gonna do. These motherfuckers ain't gonna do that. You see, they haven't been doing it.
True, because they haven't been
because
taught.
The anger becomes, it ain't about being taught. It's the
Yeah,
anger.
it is.
The female gonna get it vindictive as a motherfucker, and the dude is gonna be like, even if I want to be around my child,
she was
and
raised
this ain't
right.
for all. Well, for the most part, then you need to ask your question before you lay your dick in a broad whether she was raised right.
But you can tell that by dealing with it. But most people don't.
You don't think about that,
They
especially
don't
in our business. Where we go, bro. We said I ain't, bro. We done dealt with them, but you gotta met some goddamn women that that carried themselves that way. And I'm not just gonna fuck you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some people.
But then you gonna go to like, well, that's not what I'm on, bitch. I just got off stage and I need my dick sucked tonight. And I'll call you whenever. We can go to church, but that ain't gonna stop me from fucking nobody right now.
Yeah.
But you can't bring no child up under those conditions.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that if you have a child, I'm gonna say this:
it should be planned.
Yes, and if you have a child that isn't planned, step up to the plate and do the right thing.
Yeah, just make sure it's planned. I want my children to get them be Capricorns like me, so that means I'm looking to breed around the months of March or April. That's around that time. But man, if you got them just fucking in the moment because you guess what, I'm pregnant, then you fuck it up. If your shit wasn't planned, then you fuck it up. If you brought a kid here by just happenstance, it just happened because we didn't prepare for it, that's the wrong way to bring a child in case you didn't know it. If you didn't plan your goddamn child, you fuck it up.
Right.
So when they get here and like, especially if you ain't prepared for it, you ain't got you barely got them making it. You can't take care of yourself, and you gonna bring another life here, man. Y'all motherfuckers talk about Donald Trump, but y'all better be glad I ain't the president.
Right. But let me ask you this: what about young ladies who they know they had a kid like 18, 19, and then they have 4 or 5 more, and then they don't have any job. For a check.
Yeah. Each kid represents a certain amount of money.
What if they
and
don't
that's
know how to
really
get
a
the
fucked
money?
up way to bring you. If you got them hustling, you just got them, and some of them get lucky and get kids from a rich motherfucker. But man, goddamn it, if you just a broke bitch, you can have a goddamn, enough kids where you can get $600-$700, maybe $1,000 for each kid.
Do you really think women think that way?
Yes. I met some of them. You have too.
I just wanted to hear him say that.
Call them welfare queen.
Because it's not really cool. And I've talked to some women
it's
like that.
It's not to bring a child in life for that purpose alone. You just a meal ticket.
Right.
So it ain't just about the dad being a deadbeat dad. First of all, it wouldn't be no deadbeat dads if it wasn't for motherfucking deadbeat moms.
Okay,
if ain't nobody raped your ass, you got to think about who you let goddamn impregnate your ass.
That's right.
And not use an abortion clinic as a form of a condom.
Right. And you got to take care of your business, period. And if you do raise a kid, you got to take care of business, get a job.
Yeah, and you should want to, man. That's why I say, if I'd had to, I would have had to alter a whole lot about me.
Yeah.
If I'd had my own, bro, I'd had to sacrifice a lot. I would have done it. My dad did it for me. I mean, that's what you do.
Right.
So, I don't complain about, when I think about the 6 miscarriages and the 3 abortions, like, man, God meant for it to be like that, bro. You weren't supposed to have none of your own. You're supposed to be just where you are and do what you're supposed to do, because if you got this responsibility, and in my eyes, responsibility is nothing to look forward to.
But see, you're smart enough to understand that and look at that, but a lot of people don't look at that,
Yeah.
And I'm thankful and lucky and fortunate my parents stayed together and they taught us. They taught us how to be men and women.
Married 69 years, brother. She died last. They still be going 70-some years strong. Now they arguing like cats and dogs up to the day she died.
Right.
But they stayed together.
But they taught us. And not only they taught us well, my mom was so smart. She was super smart. She knew the English language like killer. She could have been one of these people that could have been a code breaker, because the people that do crossword puzzles, the crossword puzzles were nuts. She would do the cryptograms and just all numbers and stuff.
So
but the point is,
trigonometry and all. It's just some people just easy, just got it like that, man.
And my father was a mathematician, so he taught me how to deal with math.
Them two probably should have got together to be having kids.
Right. And here's the thing. Funny story is, when you're into that and you got parents that help you, man, I thought we were rich. I thought I had everything I needed. And I got into the argument with my junior high school teacher. His name is Jesse Verdon. And he said, if you go to this junior high school, you're in the ghetto. I told him, I don't live in the ghetto. I don't live in the ghetto. Because, we were traveling and we got this and the color, the first people that colored. We had movie cameras in the early 60s. We had everything. And then when I was growing up, everything I needed. I remember first I had we were very entrepreneurs. And when I was about 10 or 11, I had took the lawnmower and cutting grass, man. I had a bank account at 10. Seriously, because I was cutting grass. I had me a bank account and I was making money. So I bought my first saxophone and stuff and put down on it. It was made payments, monthly payments, when I was 14 and 15, man. But people don't understand that kind of stuff.
Shit. Like from the time I was 8, 9 years old, I was the last one out of 9. My father, him and my mom had me, but they was much older. 42, he was 42, she was 37. The first 8 motherfuckers caught hell, bro. My parents had them when they were young and they was struggling during that goddamn time. And when they got around to me, man, them motherfuckers treated me like a straight prince. I was running shit. My older brothers and sisters would come to me to get me. I could get my dad to go buy this Cadillac today. Go buy this. And they would come to me to get him to do something. Even with my mom, them motherfuckers realized whatever we did with the first 8, by making them be in church 4 or 5 times a week and fucking them up, we are not going to do it with this one. Because all of them, they was right behind each other. All 8 of them right behind, a year or 2 right behind each other. Okay. After my sister is 6 years older than me, they waited 6 years between them 8 niggas and me, and it's like, all right, we gonna try it again with them. So I was spoiled like a motherfucker, but my older brothers and sisters whooped my ass too. It's almost like you having goddamn 10 parents, bro.
Right.
But I'd go snitch on them.
Same in my family. Yeah. My youngest sister, my parents had 7 kids. Yeah. And there was a big gap between the oldest and the youngest.
Yeah, so, I got a sister, 2 or 3 brothers who want to be my parent.
So my youngest sister, she was spoiled as hell. She got everything, all the treatment.
Yeah.
But, I think they spoiled us all. But, we just see it more when it's on the last one, and we're older, like we're like 10, 11, 12, and they're just getting everything, getting away with stuff.
It caused a sibling rivalry because there's another brother right before my sister, 7 years. He was like the motherfucker that my dad doted on, and when I came along, man, to this day, man, that motherfucker hates my guts. My goddamn brother dudes he'd be 60 this year, I believe. Did 30 years in the Marines, got a nice family, a multi-millionaire. Me and that motherfucker still don't get along because basically that motherfucker still hates my guts. Now that's the mental illness you deal with in a family.
Yeah,
that motherfucker, I hate you for taking my spot.
Right.
Man, you out of your damn
right. But you got to remember too. I got a brother in the military, and they talk totally different.
Yeah, but he done been through both of them goddamn wars. He went through with Bush Senior, and he went through with the other one after 9/11.
Yeah.
And that shit has damaged his mind.
Of course,
yeah,
because you got to
really
remember,
damaged his mind.
They're trained killers, number one.
Yeah.
And what we say that makes sense to us doesn't make sense to them.
Right.
So you can't talk politics, can't talk this. And so I learned that with my brother.
That shit, man.
So I'm cool with my brother because I don't talk about those stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we got
I'm on your show. We done talked about a whole bunch of different stuff.
And legit only got them 10% of the shit on this page. We gonna be back up here, goddamn it, and doing our own goddamn things.
So if anybody wants to get in touch with me or see what I've been doing, you can go to chazzygreen.net. and check it out, or just type in Chazzy Green and Google it. You'll see so much stuff that I've done and the people that I've helped in life. Because at this point in my life and stage of the game, it's about helping others. Because I've lived a successful life, and I'm happy to say that. And I've done a lot of great things, but now I'm prouder at doing things for others.
Yeah, you get right now at this age. That's what we supposed to be doing, giving it all back.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. And that beautiful music that the poet was playing, they could find your stuff because you got both of us got our shit out there on Sound Exchange and everything. But you
get iTunes, anything, just type up Chazzy Green, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing:
the funky sack man, right?
Me and Al, we're gonna do some stuff together. It's gonna be great because we got a little vibe that's really interesting. And
we used to be neighbors. That's how we met, ladies and gentlemen. This man used to live upstairs from me and in Inglewood at a place called the Crossroads.
But the Crossroads was a very deep place, Al.
It was. Vivica Fox had a place there.
It was a couple of Lakers that had a place there. Yeah. And the thing was, a couple of artists and actors that stayed there as well.
Yeah.
I had somebody that did my graphic arts that stayed there. I mean, there was so much talent in the Crossroads.
Yeah. But what a hell of a name.
What I learned about that name, the name didn't really hit me until I was getting ready to leave there. Yeah. And then I understood most of the times we all are at a crossroads in our life.
Which way you gonna go?
Right, and
right
you better,
or the wrong one. And that's
but the thing is, you got to choose wisely.
Yeah, and you have to do that not just daily, but secondly,
right,
minutely, hourly,
and you got to think about it. Because if you just thinking bullshit and just doing all types of bullshit, you ain't gonna be thinking the right thing. Because when you think great things, these thoughts will manifest themselves no matter who you are. So it's better to be positive than negative.
Exactly. And if you have to spend more time alone to do that, because it's hard to goddamn stay in a solo mindset when you got other people around you with bullshit. I mean, that's one thing I don't miss about never being married or having any kids. I really don't have that responsibility. I can be a selfish motherfucker. But still, it can be a very lonely road sometimes, but when you got the responsibility of having to take care of another life, that's your job.
But you can do your job. But here's the thing that most people don't understand about relationships. You got to have space.
Yeah, you do. Some people won't allow you to do that.
And you're the wrong one.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in. Another time you done told them maybe where to find y'all at.
Sure can.
Where find you at with all these instruments, and what's that one called?
The aerophone. We'll leave that for another time. But I'm going to play. Everybody remembers this song. This is one song that led me through.
He's going to play us out of here. So before we go, my name's Al Toomer. Y'all know where to find me. Just Google me, Al Toomer, the number 2. And here is shit, and that's where you'll find me at.
I'm going to play saxophone.
She says your music out.
Yes, it is. It's on iTunes. CDs. Like I said, it can go on iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, any music.
Chazzy Green.
Chazzy Green, the funky sax man. And this is really my half brother. It's like we're going to do something like Black Light because
my dad fucked a white woman with him.
No, what happened?
His mom's white.
He drank a lot of white milk. That's all. That's all that happened. Everybody knows this song, right? We were supposed to come out with it this summer, but they got delayed to next summer.
All right, well, play us about here, man.
Go Busters. Everybody knows that.